gonna like reciprocate and tell you why we the best or something like that. I'm just gonna tell you what we did for you, your country, right? So, by the way, just to tell you, we have the largest brewery in the whole world. SAP is the largest in the world. So I'm just gonna stop there, right? You can't compete. You're competing with the world when it comes to brewery. We brought digital satellites in your country. Hercules, your country before us didn't have access to digital satellites. So what I'm going to say to you is that today you have the privilege of watching football on TV because of us, right? Because your national public broadcasting didn't even afford to buy the broadcasting rights, right? So we give you digital satellites. We gave you, do you know what MTN did in your country? Your country was down there. It didn't have a proper network cell tower. MTN did that. They came into your country, they established that, right? And then let me tell you something else. After Fela Kuti, your music industry was so dead. Do you know who was behind the rise of music, Nigerian music? It was our Channel O. We are the first in Africa to come with a music channel. The other TV channels, MTV based, didn't want to recognize Nigerian music. It's ours that recognize music and put it up there. Between 99 and 2006, your music was dead. No one recognized you in Africa. So we did all that for you. We brought you everything. So trying to you trying, let me tell you, MTN. Look at what MTN is. You're trying to tell us that we don't have something that we started on our own. It's a public enterprise. It's an achievement of a black governance. It's the one that established MTN, right? It is the biggest in your country. You couldn't compete with us. You couldn't even compete with GoTV. Something that we are running away from this country. You guys is it's shining over there. So we brought a lot in your country, and then we are competing in global stage. You can't even rival something like Airtel in your country. Something from India, something that is rejected in India comes into your country and becomes one of the biggest telecom companies. You can't even compete with Nestle, something that produces beverages for children. You can't even compete with that. Your biggest pride is Indomie, something that was owned by Indonesians. That's why the Indomie comes from Indonesia. So you have nothing. We have everything, and we have given you everything. So just in case you want to bring that question again, what do we have? We have a lot. We have produced a lot, and we're giving you a lot, something you didn't have before. So I hope you're answered.
Oh, I swear, just responding to Hercules feels like such a waste of my time. Hercules, you know the best thing that has ever happened to your entire existence is you moving to Australia. You know very well that if you had stayed in Nigeria, you wouldn't even be alive right now. Because we saw your pictures. We saw them. You pushing a wheelbarrow filled with sweet potatoes. We all saw those pictures. You looked so skinny. You were so sunburned. You just look like you've been fried by the sun. You can see that you spent 17 hours digging up those sweet potatoes to fill into that stupid wheelbarrow. Australia is the best thing that has ever happened to you. Japaring is the best thing that has ever happened to your existence. So you're not even hey guys, that's my Hercules. Oh my guys, maybe not even make my submission about this fool. Honestly, as South Africans, we just have one question. We want to support your business. How much are you selling your sweet potatoes for? Like, we've been asking you this question and you never answer. You know, gosh, like anyways, you're not even worth the time, really. Like, you can't, like, thank God for Australia. Like, look at the difference when you're in Australia right now. You've gained weight, not complexion, guys. Check his profile picture. He has a bit of complexion, but in those pictures, hey, I'm not even like trying to be like colorist, but you were burnt. Okay, you don't even look like the same person. You were bony as hell. You know, just like how everything in Nigeria is bony. The dogs are bony, the birds are bony, the rats are bony. You too were bony. Everything about you just screamed hunger and poverty. So thank God to Australia. Thank God to those Muzungus that you ran after there in Australia. And the last minute will be towards all these Jolofinas. Southgerians that come up here to trash talk South Africa. Hey, Muzungu this, hey, Orania this, hey, GBV this, what South African mean this, unemployment this, all these things that you list about that's bad about South Africa. I ask you again, if South Africa is so terrible and South African men are so dangerous and you feel so unsafe, why are you still here? Why haven't you packed your Changan bag and taken it to Nigeria, the country that you love so much? That's a very simple question that none of you little stupid cockroaches will never answer. You're pathetic. Everything that you say here proves that South Africa is much better than Nigeria. Until you take your ass there, you're just making noise. You're not even worth the energy. You're all idiots. Stupid.
Yes, Maya, that was so eloquently put. I love you all. Hello, everybody, all. So, let's just be very clear, right? There's Nigerian Americans who might sound like me, right? Because some of us have parents from Durban, right? Who came to this country, right? Got beautiful education, which you can also get that at Kaya, but are here. And thank God, you know, we're all over the place because we can share with the world the beautiful things about South Africa and South African people, like Nigerians like to do, right? Like, I know some Nigerian Americans who sound just like me, right? We don't have to pretend that there's an accent. Like, I'm not going to do that, right? Also, when we're talking about influence, let's have a dense conversation, because I can see that, like, there's no intelligence being spewed here at all. So let's be slow together. When you even think about Africa and the way even Americans think of it, which is another slow concept, the first thing they're thinking of when they think of an African leader is Madiba and Shagazulu. They're thinking of the Zulus. They're thinking of Nelson Mandela. If I ask an American right now, I will literally go on the street right now in the city and say, name an African leader. The first thing they're gonna say is Nelson Mandela. Let's have a very slow conversation. I don't need to have an accent, or I don't need to say things, or that's more comfortable for you, or and that will make you feel good, or and that's gonna feed your logic, or I don't have to. I know who I am, and I know where I come from, and I share that proudly in this country, and I have dual citizenship, so if I want to go home, I can do that. So let's just be mindful. Don't worry about the way I speak. Worry about these pockets. Worry about this education. Worry about what the fuck I do fuck with, and that's South Africa, heavy and forever. You worry about the fact that you are a South African, and for whatever reason, I don't know who bullied you. I don't know who was mean to you when you were little. I don't know who called you a mean name, who's from Ekaya, but I want to apologize on their behalf, because for some reason, you thought it was cute to come up here and actually be a South African person, born and bred Ekaya, and come up here and embarrass yourself and defend a nation that doesn't give a damn about you. That's the biggest. And you know what? They always say it. The problem is always in-house. It's always going to be that one person in-house. Very strange, very delayed, very slow. So like I said, I'm going to be very slow with you guys, because that's what this conversation seems to be. That's where the direction it's going in. So again,
even with you trying to be slow, I don't think none of us understood what you were saying or where you were going with whatever point you were trying to make. But to Maya, is it Maya? I don't know who said that. I don't know if it's Maya who said Nigerians can't compete with South Africans. Let's break this delusion real quick. Nigerians are not just competing, they're winning. Like, Nigerians are dominating in business, academics, and global influence, while South Africans are still fighting over the status and load shedding schedules. Like, what are you guys saying? Nigerians built Africa's biggest economy. They lead in tech, and they produce world-class intellectuals. So I don't understand where all this rowdiness is coming from. Okay? And as for you crying about no intelligence is being spewed because I checked your fake accent, if nobody's worried about you, if nobody's worried about how you speak, why are you so pressed? Why are you pressed about that? Clearly, you thought that accent would shield you from being called out, but here you are, stuttering through your weak comebacks. Nigerians don't just talk, they back it up with results. So now go find a new argument that actually holds weight, because all you can say here is trying to speak slow, but in you speaking slow, you've not said anything that makes sense. You've been trying to clock the tea for how long, and you've not clocked any tea. You've not clocked anything. Don't tell me about, education, the bag. We're not talking about the bag here. We're having real life conversations and discussions on this panel. So if you want to come up here and make an impression, say something that makes sense. Say something that's intelligent, because you're out here backing up Maya. Oh, Maya this, oh, Maya that. But you've not said anything that makes sense on this panel. With all that education, the only thing you can say here is about how your pockets are big. Nobody gives a fuck about how big your pockets are. If everybody needed to show how big their pockets are, I'm telling you, you wouldn't even be on the top 10. So stop trying to clock tea that's not even teaing, okay? Bring something better, bring something that we can talk about, and stop saying rubbish that we don't understand. Oh my word. And you keep saying I'm selling out people. What are you talking about? What am I selling out? Because I'm speaking facts? Is it because I'm saying facts? All you guys do is come up here and attack Nigerians. That's all you guys ever do. And that tells me how pressed you are. That tells me how fucking pressed you are. And that's on period. Because you want to come on here. No, you're not the tea, my love. You thought you were, but you're not. You've not clocked anything. Nothing, nada, zero. And at the end of the day, I'm going to speak facts. And I'm being factual when I say Nigerians are not the problem of South Africa. All you guys ever want to do is come on here and talk about how Nigerians are the biggest problem of South Africa. What about the things that you do? Imagine you're in America trying to clock tea. Honey, come to South Africa and clock the tea. Don't be sitting there speaking in your fake ass accent, coming to tell us about, this. Oh, please, mama, you're not that special. Let's keep it moving, please. Haibo. Next, thank you so much. Another person can take over now.
Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I can't believe I've been hanging around with xenophobes. Ever since I started patriotism, my beef has never been with any to this point of hate.
I want to say something, please. Sorry, don't be angry. Moderator, please stop dropping people. Stop, please.
Yeah, so
who is dropping Mr. Nigeria?
Yeah, time goes. So I never thought I was hanging out with xenophobes. It's a situation of Get Out. You know what I'm saying? The movie Get Out. I can't believe I was hanging around with xenophobes. And now I understand what those foreigners were feeling in 2019. This is how they must have felt. This must be the devilish energy that was there. And let me tell you, my Nigerians, my Africans, this is not how we feel, the rest of us. No. When we were coming here on these lives, it was not hatred, it was just patriotism, talking about fixing the issues, the immigration issues. That's as far as my beef goes. But this thing that's happening here, a lot of South Africans, they are lined up here, 100 and something, they are lined up just to try and cook Nigerians. So this is how you want to do it also physically. This is why. I also saw someone here, they said they want to put a tire on Nigerians right here on this live.
Remember this? Officer, what is my offense? Officer, what is my offense? What is my offense now? Officer! Do you remember that? That was good. That was great. I enjoyed that. By the way, another thing I just wanted to say, Hercules. MTN, you can go and do your research. MTN, ShopRite, owned by PIC. PIC, shareholders of PIC, Black ordinary South African people. Go ahead, do that. Another thing. Where's that one? Black. Black. Our resident's wife, Nigeria's finest. I see you, girl. But I know why you're doing this. The Nigerian dick is that good. I mean, come on, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Protect the dick. I mean, it's good because you can sit in a panel full of Nigerian men pumping you up, telling you how great you are, how smart you are. Yeah, that's all we get, man. That's basically, that's all we hear. And why are you mad at Ayanda? Why? Is it because you grew up in the States? I mean, come on now, girl. If you really want to sound like her, why don't you just say, hey, Ayanda, just give me lessons. I hear you using catchphrases like trying to sound American, body clock it, clock tea, clock bag. No. You grew up with here. You grew up with us. Nereja malamodu really too. Don't worry. Don't try. Don't try, Kwali. Don't try. It's okay. This happens to the best of us. I hear you, man. And I hear, like, here's another one. You were crashing out. The moment you heard her clock the tea, you crashed out. And it's okay, man. It's okay. It happens. It happens. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta say what you gotta say, you know. The Nigerian dick is that good. You gotta get some. Okay. Anyway.